An ellipse is a set of points on a plane where the sum of is from a point to 6 points is, and it's a constant. So basically, from A to F plus A to 2 equals B to F1 plus B to F2. That's your constant. And F1 and F2 are the foci or foci, and singular they're the focus 2. Okay, next we have, this is a vertical, what we just looked at was horizontal. So you know that it's vertical because this axis is the bigger of the two axes, and these, your focus points, your foci are on your major axis, and the points at the end of the major axis, vertexes, and then the center is at the middle, yeah. And then the smaller axis is the minor axis, and the points at the end are the covertices. The standard for vertical are x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equals 1. So that your vertices are 0, minus a for vertical, and your foci, whatever they are, 0, plus or minus c on the y-axis, and these should be on the axis. And then your covertices minus b, and that's all for horizontal. Your standard equation is x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1. Notice how a and the b just switch from vertical to horizontal. Your vertices for your horizontal ellipse are 0, and your foci are plus or minus c, 0 on the x-axis. See that in the same spot. Your covertices are 0 plus or minus b, and all of this is literally the reverse of this. You always know which one is bigger. A is and b is always bigger than 0, and you can always find by using almost the Pythagorean theorem, but it's c squared equals a squared minus b squared. First, find the equation of the ellipse using 2, 0, your covertices at 0, 1, and the center at the origin. Now, first you can sketch this out with your vertices at 2, 0, 2, 1, and then covertex 1 and 1. And you know that it's horizontal even before you sketch it out. Looking back at your formulas, these standard formulas for your covertices match up with how it should be for horizontal ellipse. So now you're going to plug in these numbers into your standard equation. Picture it as this. And this is your final equation because A is 2 and B is 1. Okay.
Let's wait here for a second.
How beautiful is that? Okay. Next, you are going to graph an ellipse and find the foci using 4x squared plus y squared equals 36. And the first is divide by 36, so you can put it into standard form, equaling. So divide everything by 36, x squared over 9 plus y squared over 4 equals 1. So that's in standard form, and to put it in one more step, and more obvious, you do the square roots of those. So it's literally identical to your standard equation. So you have x squared over 3 squared, so 3 square root of 9, and then y squared over 2 squared, 2 square root of 2, 4, 2 squared root of 4, and then it equals 1. So that's your standard equation, and you know that it is because A is always bigger than B. So you lost words. Graph, thank you. Put it into the graph, and you know your vertices are at 2 because covertices are B. So you go at 2 and 2, and then your vertices are at 4. So you put them there, and then you have your little ellipse, and actually horizontal. And then to find your foci, you put in the numbers that you have to c squared, a squared minus b squared, and since that's a, c squared equals 9 minus 4, squared equals 5, and you take the square root of that, plus or minus, and so your foci is plus square root of 5 comma 0. It's more than 2, so you plug those in there, foci, and then you've done it. And then you find the equation using your foci at 0 comma plus or minus 8, co-vertices at plus or minus 0, and you know automatically that is a ellipse because your points can match up with the formulas you're given in the standard formulas. Yeah. So first thing you're going to do is find A, since you're given B and C. B. And since they're both 8, it's just 8 squared equals A squared minus 8 squared. C squared minus B squared equals, C squared equals A squared minus B squared. So then to isolate the variable, the A, you're going to add 8 to both sides, and then you see 64, aka 8 squared plus A squared. And then that's 164 and 128, and to find A, the square root using plus or minus. And then you know A and B, you can plug because A is 1 square root of 1 squared and then 8 squared. And that's your equation. Beautiful. And finally, you have to write an equation using this graph of an ellipse. And you see it goes through point 0, comma 2 and point 3, comma 0. And you know that this is your major axis and these are your vertices because A is always bigger than B. So you know it's horizontal. It looks horizontal. And so A is 3 because that's where that point is, and B is 2, so that's where that point is. So you just plug in those numbers to your standard equation where A and B are, and that's all that you need. And this has been Ellipses.